projecting your age, Ed.
Adjust to a new condition.
Okay, so now we can start, right, Walter? Okay, Jen, I guess, Julio, do you need to turn on anything, or are we good to go? Okay, so let's call the meeting to order. Can we do roll call, please?
Ms. Hoffman?
Here?
Mr. Sykes?
Present, say present.
Here, I'm present.
Mr. Siegel?
Present.
Ms. Wright?
Present.
Mr. Gunther?
Present.
Mr. Smith and Mr. Gibson.
Okay, so we'll start with an approval of the minutes from the June 14th regular meeting. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
I'll
Any
make a motion.
corrections, additions?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? All right, motion carries. Bills and communications, that's in your packet. Jen had sent an update, so did everybody get that? Should be as of July 12th, right, Jen?
Correct, and the update is payment number 15, which is to RBT CPAs. So you see that. So there's a total of 15 payments in the amount of $16,235.76.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve bills and communications?
I'll move. I'll second it.
Howard, second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, carries. Staff report, Jen?
Just one update to the staff report. I wanted to let you know that with the Personnel Committee's approval, we increased Amanda Bassey's hours to a maximum of 40 per week over the summer, and she's been really helpful, especially right now with Debbie having left. So she's working up to 40 hours per week for the summer.
All right, so let's move on to new business. We have the first resolution to discuss is a sales tax, the extension of the sales tax abatement period for the Catskill Hospitality Operating LLC and Catskill Hospitality Holding LLC from August 1 through January 31, 22. Walter, anything to add on that?
Nothing to add. It's just an ongoing project that's taking forever.
They are current with respect to fees and reports.
Great. Okay, can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second, Carol? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. The next resolution is authorizing an amendment to Resolution 2221, which is also the second part of that, right? Catskill Hospitality as well.
Same project. In preparing to close on the increased amounts of their financing, they noticed that the project was going to take longer to complete than the sunset on disbursement of their working capital loan. They can't pull out working capital until they're ready to open. And this project, as you know, has been going on for a long time. So the SBA came up with a solution, which is to tear up the existing 7A loan and to do a new one. This resolution would simply authorize a mortgage recording tax exemption on a new 7A loan to replace the existing 7A loan, which was already secured by a mortgage, recorded without payment of mortgage.
Does anybody have any questions on that resolution?
205,000, that's it.
It's simply their working capital, the total amount of financing, which anticipating, Howard, that you might bring that up, since you can't run a hotel or build a hotel. The total amount of financing and owner's equity is about 12 million, which is in the prior resolution. What the prior resolution authorized was to increase their TPL loan amount and to increase their interim loan amount, but it didn't contemplate any change to the 7A working capital loan, but then they noticed that they weren't going to be done in time, so this is the workaround.
We need a motion?
I do. No, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we move on to any other business that we have before the board. Any other business? If anyone has? Okay, hearing none, we'll move into public comment.
It's good to be in the same room to see faces again, more than just on a two-dimensional screen. A couple of things. On resolution 22, the amending 22-21, we greatly appreciate it if you put the name of the project in there, instead of project, company's project. So these people who read it will know what it's about, instead of trying to go find 2021 and trying to catch up onto it. Okay? Same thing as when you're discussing it here. You should at least mention the company's name first. It's an open meeting. People should know what's going on, who's watching, so forth. A suggestion, I think, in the future, something to think about. Okay? Having public comment after the fact has no bearing upon the outcome. I think maybe public comment should be invited on an agenda item only at the beginning. So if somebody wants to speak to an issue, they can inform you where they, from their perspective, and not after the fact when it's all over. That's my point of view. And you can still have the one at the end if there's more that they want to talk about, like I want to do now. It's been coming up in the legislature more than once concerning CNAs, LPNs, lack of body shop personnel. It all goes back to BOCES. And I think we all have a responsibility to lean on BOCES to get their act together. They charge enough through the taxes, but they're not providing the needs of the community. And therefore, there are people that are young people that are graduating high school with no chance to go to a job directly like they used to. And they dropped all these programs. You can do and find out what the reasoning is. You know, one of the reasons is they can't find qualified teachers, and especially vocational ed. And that's not our problem, that's the state's problem, because they keep raising the bar, does not qualify that they're better teachers. My mother's a teacher, and I tried that too. And you know, as to be a teacher, you got to have a master's. You know, first you only went to normal school, 3 years you were out. That was my mother. Then you had to have 4 years of BS, and then you have to have a master's. And this is the graph, you know. Here you are, requirements. Here's quality of education. So something's wrong with that picture. So that's just something to think about. Let's talk about economic development. And I look around the room, and I'm the oldest one almost. Ed's probably up there, not too far behind. I'm glad to see you, Ed.
I'm missing this.
I don't look young anymore. We feel young. That's the whole problem. Our mind is really young. Our body just don't want to keep up. Businesses grew out of the backyard. Started out as a farm, started out as a rooming house, had a good year, put on a few more rooms. Eventually the cows were sold, the farm was gone, and then they were in the hotel business and so forth. It was easier for people in the past to go into business and to expand. Zoning and planning and zoning, board of appeals, and planning have really screwed up the works. I have no problem with building codes, by the way. Things should be safer. But we do not make it easy for people to go into business. You put all these hoops in the way. And I don't know what you can do as an IDA. I know what we can do as individuals. We can talk about it. But the only way our economy is going to grow is somebody starts in their backyard. Keith Zanetti, right, Walter? He started in his backyard.
After he left Liberty.
But he got experience in the front lines working for somebody. Then he went into business for himself in his backyard. He eventually bought Ray's Woodworks down on 55, and he's been there ever since. But we don't make it easy. We have to figure out how to make it easier for people to go into business, besides trying to open up a restaurant or a tax service or some small type of service. You know, The only place somebody else can do it is in the energy business. If you get a truck and meet all the requirements, then you sell oil. Want to have a good business sense and they get paid and don't carry too much line of credit, I can tell you. But there's not a lot of businesses people can start as small and grow and be self-sufficient. And we got to figure out how we can promote South growth. As far as I'm concerned, I look back, it's always been a immigrant population that has made Sullivan County grow. It's never been the mainstay of people who have been here. It's always been the immigrant populations come in here and did it. Now, the only immigrant population that we have in force is coming, and they're here now, they're starting to expand, is the Latino community. People want the American dream. The American dream is to be poor and make money because the opportunities are there. It's not for the government to put those blocks in front of them. We should be here to encourage and help. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, Howard, all in favor? Aye. Okay, we're adjourned.
So we were gonna have a 5-minute quick
Hold on.
conversation.
Camera, sound.